Hello, welcome to this presentation. I hope you can enjoy it. How many times studying for a test, but in the end you fail and feel discouraged? Let me share with you that I have suffered this failure many times. I thought that I needed a good memory to succeed in a test, which I don't have. In this presentation, you will learn how to succeed in tests with study techniques. Forget your past fails, and I hope after the presentation you can succeed on your test. The first point is preparation. You don't need machine memory for the test. We need preparation. Adequate preparation starts on the first day of class. Inadequate preparation is to think you will study all your notes one night before your test. Taking notes effectively means having organization. There are different ways to organize just notes and not just line after line. Let me share some examples with you. Use note-taking method describable to take 3 hours of class notes. Be sure that the left column contains possible exam questions. Pay attention to keywords. For example, digestions. Summarize each question of a chapter taken from one of your textbooks. Write summarize in the margins on your sheet of paper. It also helps to study in a group and make breaks every 50 minutes. You can have more motivation if you study in short blocks and avoid emotional fatigue. Emotional fatigue, it's a strong discouragement. If you start early, you can avoid it. Discuss with a tutor. Make file cards and review them periodically. 3 times per day is the recommendation. Remember, attend classes, take your notes, make your cards, find a tutor and friends to help and review your cards during the semester. You will be ready for your exam. In this section, we realize how important it is to manage our time because we need to schedule. You should schedule 2 hours of study for every hour in class. It will help if you plan to study specific courses and set a time. The more difficult subjects first. We'll learn more efficiently by 1 hour block of time than hours in a row. It is essential to set a realistic and attainable schedule. Don't forget your balanced life. Let me show you how can you plan your year by month, your month by weeks, your weeks by days, and your days by hours. Pay attention to your assignments. Thus, don't have the surprise that your general exam is for tomorrow. Plan your assignments, projects, and test date. Then schedule. Let me tell you, there is 5 types of study necessary for academic success. We don't use our full potential to learn and earn higher grades. Number 1, a study to gather information. The purpose of this is to identify the information to be learned. You need to organize, condense, and record information on note cards. Studying to learn information. This means to learn information for the long term and not just for the test, the short term. If you want your learning for the long term, you need to recite your notes and review your card 2 or 3 times per week to prevent forgetting. The number of times you need to recite has no correlation with your intelligence. 3. Study to check for learning. Identify the concepts you didn't learn yet. 4. Study to refresh. Review your material to avoid forgetting. 5. Studying to improve learning skills. Use your quiz to identify your weakness and strengths. Your last quiz. Review why you succeed. The knowledge you keep in mind and remember what you did to remember it, and make the same for the wrong answer in your test. In my case, I realized that when I share my reading with a friend, I don't forget about my test, my notes. Avoid cramming. Let's see a video describe word cramming and study more. Cramming doesn't work. Distribute your study over time. Now we are going to predict some test questions. You can see the big picture of your exam when we involved. Predict questions will help you be involved in your test preparation, classes, and lectures. Pay attention if some material is repeated or what's emphasized on board. It's anything read aloud. What questions make the instructors in class? Could you answer the teacher's questions in class? Organize in your notes possible. Test questions sections ask the teacher about the type of the exam. For example, multiple choice, essay, or a mixture of both. Review your materials and think about how you feel about them. What is the most important for your course? Short answer questions usually include use following words, list name, define, or identify. Trace questions shows the steps in a process. For example, describe the steps in. Compare and contrast. Question shows the similarities and difference. For example, show the similarities and difference. Discussion question describe the effects of the things on another, of significance of particular event, or the role of a specific individual or institution in a predicting the discussion question. Discussion questions. These questions often begin to discuss the significance or the role, or discuss the effect, or discuss the relationship between. Manage your anxiety. Let's see this is like on how to reduce or anxiety. Take exercise, meditation, listen comedy. After your exam, please keep it for the future exam for a reference. You could ask your teacher for more options. You got a low grade. Let's see how to predict better typical test questions. For example, multiple questions, come up with the answer before look the possible answers, eliminate answers you know aren't right. Don't keep on changing your answers. Usually the first choice is the right one. In all of about and not of about choices, if you are certain one of the statements is true, don't choose none of the above, or one of the statements are false, don't choose all the above. You see that at least two correct statements, then all the above is probably the answer. Usually the correct answer is the choice with the most information. True false tips, usually there are more true answers than false on most tests. Qualifiers like usually, sometimes, and generally lead to an answer of true. If any part of question is false, then the entire statement is false. But just because part of the statements is true doesn't necessarily make the entire statement true. The oral test, practice talking in front of a mirror so that you can evaluate your body language, pay close attention to the questions asked, short answers, use flashcards, writing key terms, dates, and concepts. The quantitative math, this we need repetition. Repetition is important. Recognize when you use a specific method. Open book tests focus on learning main ideas, highlighting important points, matching questions, match only ones you know for certain first. This is my presentation. I hope it helps for you in your future tests. In my personal experience, I like these skills years ago and consistently earned low grade, which later affected my confidence, especially when I was a teenager in high school. Now I realize that this is a strategy and doesn't correlate it with my capacity or self-esteem. Never compare your grades with your self-esteem. Both topics are different things. Thanks for watching.